Hi everyone, it's Susie Lee with Bellalina Boutique. I was at the Dollar Tree recently. They had like leftover Mother's Day frames or something. I think that's what they were. They were leftover Mother's Day frames. And I thought they were really rather pretty. And I didn't even notice when I looked at the back of them that they're pretty well made even in the back for a Dollar Tree frame. I mean, usually Dollar Tree frames don't have this nice little ribbon in here, and this is really rather sturdy. This almost reminds me of something I would find in a more high-end store. So if you see these at your Dollar Tree, I picked up a couple. Grab a couple because there's lots of fun things you can do with them. And what I liked about it is that it's a blank slate, white blank slate all the way around it, and that leaves lots for the imagination. Open this up in the back. I'm gonna use a European Excellency napkin tonight. I am in a quandary. I'm in a pickle about which one to use. Honestly, I don't know. But look, I want to show you the back of this. I mean, it's a nice, sturdy, Dollar Tree frames. They're usually, just like falling apart when you get them. But this one is really rather nice. I recommend it highly. Anyway, I'm taking that off for now. And I'm taking this picture out, this little paper, and I'm going to take out the glass for a moment, simply because I'm going to be doing some things around the edge, and I don't want it to get it messed up. Now, I've already gone around this with alcohol, and I'm going to take this because I'm going to be putting the napkin over this, I do believe, and we're going to go ahead and paint it, the napkin. Let me show you the napkins I've got, the European Excellency napkins that I have here. I've got two of them, and I haven't determined yet which one I want to use. Tell me which one would be your favorite, and let me tell you what I'm going to do first. I'm going to take these beautiful Waterslides. Well, they're vintage, like vintage letter, roses, stamps, that kind of thing. There's that one. Here's one really cute. It looks like a little postage stamp. So what we're going to do is we're going to vintage up the frame and these, and we're going to, these are the little water slides. You put them on with the water and you just slide them right off. Hence, water slides, right? Anyway, so I'm going to be using those. Here's one that's really a favorite of mine. I think it's really pretty. That one right there. So I am going to figure out which one I'm going to use when I do the edge of the, after I do the edge of the frame, because honestly, right now, I don't know what I'm doing. They're like, clearly, Susie, we can tell that. We can tell you don't know what you're doing today. No, I know. I was prepped. I am prepped. I went around and I fussy cut all these little, all of these little doodads here, these water slides, because I don't want any of the edge. There's like a shiny kind of an edge. I don't want it to show. Here we go. All right, I'll hold it here. Just gonna, this is just white chalk paint that I got from Hobby Lobby. It is white Adirondack color. That's the color. Just plain, it's a kind of a, it's not, I wouldn't call it creamy white. I call it real true white. True blue white. And you want your background when you do a napkin or you do a rice paper, you want your background to be light. Why? Because when you do that, it brightens, it keeps the colors in your napkin and all of those things nice and bright. Now there's a little, like a little screw there that came from the little hanger on the back. I'm not going to take that out. I'm going to leave that in because I'm going to have something kind of covering that area. You're not going to see it. So not only is it going to be covered with the napkin, but it's going to be covered with a piece of Totally Dazzled as well. So just going to slap this paint on here. Hence a slap it on brush. This is actually not a slap it on brush. This is one of my newer ones, but eventually it will become a slap it on brush. That's what happens to them. They just get all frayed and fuzzy, and they're great for just slapping it on. Okay. And there's that. I'm going to just dry this up real quick. And we're going to get to getting. We're going to put one of these in. Well, you know what? I think I'll wait until I'm done with the edge of this frame. But this frame, I was shocked that it was at the Dollar Tree. I think it was in with the Mother's Day things. It was in with like you know, like all the Mother's Day accoutrement. All right, I'm going to set this aside. We're going to work on the frame. Here's the frame. And these water slides are so cool. If you haven't seen them, they remind me of a lot of the tattoos that you get when you're a kid. You know, you just wet your hand and you put them on and slide them off and you got a tattoo. That's what you got. That's what you got. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place them before I decide what all I'm going to do here. These are the smaller ones. I'm just going to kind of place them in here. No rhyme or reason. And I'm probably going to end up overlapping some, so I'll put the bigger ones on first. That's my plan. I'm going to put the bigger ones on first. And some of them are going to overlap. And that's okay. I like that. I'm going to get that butterfly in that one. That's kind of cute. A little butterfly. Some of these are, all of them have a flower, a rose. Like this one has a purple rose. I think this is so pretty. I love a purple rose. Don't you? I think they're so pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to cover the white with, and here's the thing. If you don't cover these, if you don't put these on something with a white background, they're going to get lost and they're going to look muddy. You need to put these on a white background. Even on a clear background, it kind of doesn't look as good as on a white background. So just keep that in mind if you get these. Oh, so pretty. Little bits of teal. Right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to continue figuring out my pattern here. One's going to go this way, one's going to go that way. I'm staggering them. And you know what? If I don't cover all of them, it's fine. All of this area, it's fine. Maybe I shouldn't think about covering all of it. Maybe what I should do is think about, now that I'm placing them, is think about, yeah, maybe I'll overlap one or two here or there. But maybe what I should do is think about once I get them on, going in with some stain and staining that little bit to make it more antiqued, to make it go with the theme, right? You follow me? I'm right? Okay. Like that, like that. Okay, I'm liking this better now. It was too crowded a minute ago. Okay. And you just got to kind of play with it. That's all you're going to do. This one's going to get covered up here for the most part because it's good. There's going to be a totally dazzled, beautiful, might I add, totally dazzled piece. Now these are from European Excellency. If you've never used the water slides, they're fun. They're just like the old-fashioned tattoos when we were kids. You know, you remember those, right? See which way this should go. Yeah. Getting all my favorites on here. You know. I got some favorites. They're so pretty. They're beautiful. All of them. Okay. I'm liking this just the way it is. I am. Okay, so here's the deal. Where do you start? I think I'm going to start at the bottom here. Just going to move these around here. I'm starting this one down here, and this is what you do. I'm going to take a little sponge. Pretty easy, actually. A little plate, a little sponge, a little water. like this. That's how I like to do it. Y'all do it any way you want. That's what I'm going to do. All right. Sometimes having a couple pieces of tape helps, right? Like, you know, when you're pulling apart a napkin. Just like that. Now there's a sticky part here. There's sticky part you put on here like this, and then you wet this part, the back of it, just like this with your sponge. Okay, so all you're gonna do, and I'm gonna end up trimming the edge if it comes off on there. Just wait a second. Make sure there's water in there. And once it's good and wet, it just slides right off. Just like this. It's separating. I see it back here. I said it slides, but you can just lift it like that. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim it right here. It's sticky, guys. Don't be fooled by because it's sticky. So now that we got the first one on, and it kind of goes over the edge of that gold frame, which I really like. That's really pretty. I was going to trim that off, but you know what? I kind of like it. I'm just going to press it down and make sure that it's and we're going to pull this part. Come on. There's like a little piece of plastic, visqueen, whatever you want to call it. It's thick plastic. There we go. Just grab it with your nail. That's how you do it. And you just put it right where you want it, right over. I'm going to overlap this one like that. And I'm just keep going around. I'm just going to keep going around, and because you got to wait a minute while it does its thing, while it seals the deal. Okay, like I said, I'm staggering them in all the different directions. Okay, let's see if I can get this off. Yep, just like this. You just slide it off like that. Wish I could just lift it up and show you, but I've got them all laid out. So can you all see? Can you see what's going on here? Okay. Nope, it's not. If you tug at it and it doesn't move, then don't do it. That means it ain't ready. It's not ready. But if you tug at it like that and it moves, you're golden. Okay, perfect. That one kind of just molded itself right to around the edge of the frame, which is pretty. There's a raw edge inside that frame. I may paint that gold. Oh gosh, I love this so much. Isn't that pretty? Look at those. I love it. I'm going to take my little bit of gold, folk art, gold paint here. Got a little brush. So I'm just going to get in here and do the edge. It's a raw edge, and you know me. I like my things finished. So I'm going to get in here with this folk art. It's called Treasure Gold. I love this. You can get it at Walmart. You can also get it at Hobby Lobby. If you get a little on the edge that of the flowers or your stamps or whatever, you meant to do that. Don't worry about it, because it's going to look good. Because the edge is gold. The other edge is gold. So, see, it kind of looks like you trimmed it out in a little bit of gold. It's good. It's fine. Don't get too fussy. Did I miss a spot? Nope. In fact, I may go over around the edge with a little bit of this anyway, just to make it, I think it'd be pretty, because it matches the gold on the other end. So just having a little lip, a little gold lip, I think it'd be pretty. Yep. Yep. Okay. Done and done. I am going to go ahead and go around that just a little bit and dry brush some of that gold in there, because I think it would be pretty. Just at the edge. It needs it. Can you see what I'm doing here? I'm just kind of going around the edge, and it's touching the stamps a little bit, and that's fine. It gives it a little shimmer. It's pretty, like that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right. All right. Just smoothing it out. Oh, yeah. Okay, now we can dry it out. That, to me, looks so much prettier than having it just a plain dull edge. Dull. It's just, you know, it was like MDF board inside or something, you know, just around the edge. Wasn't trimmed out like the rest of it. As pretty as the frame was. Now, if you wanted more gold, you could get some gold wax, get in there with a little brush and put a little gold wax here and there on your stamps and make that shimmer. That's what this did right here when I went around the edge. It's really pretty, actually. Make sure that that's nice and dry. That soaked that gold paint up so quickly because it was just raw board. Let's see if we got it dry. We did. That was quick. Okay. This is a beautiful European Excellency napkin. This came in the bundle. That it's called the floral bundle. So the link to European Excellency, my affiliate link, is at the description of this video at the top of the page, and you can grab it there and just go to the bundles, and you're going to get the floral bundle is what it is. I think it was 40. There was a lot of them that came in this bundle. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut this a little longer. It was really close to fitting. So a little bit longer. This board goes on the back of it, okay? Yep, just like that. I'm going to do the iron-on method because for me, it's just a no-brainer. It works so much better. The iron-on method. I'm going to plug in my little crafty iron here. Take a little bit of Mod Podge. Get a little Mod Podge going. What you do with the iron-on method, as you all know, probably. You could teach this better than I can. You just put a nice even coat of Mod Podge over your surface. Okay, so you want to make sure you get it all the way to the corners, to the ends. Make sure that you get a nice even coat, especially the ends. Okay, and then I'm going to dry this up. That's the key, is drying it up. This is a pretty napkin. Love it. Gorgeous. That's a pretty one. I love them all. I went through them all when I first got them on my live when I first got them. And oh my goodness, there's some pretty ones. I couldn't pick. Grab a piece of parchment here. Okay. So what you do with this is you get your napkin centered where you want it. And you put your parchment paper over that. Get your hot iron and hold 2, 3, 4. Could you use dark wax on the frame? Absolutely. Absolutely. But if you put it on prior to the slides, your slides aren't going to come out right. They're going to be muddy and not you won't see the pretty colors in the slides if you put it on a dark background. You need to put your slides on a white light background first. And then if you want to go in and I might do that, I might get a little dark wax and just smear a little bit in between there, and but I wouldn't even put any dark wax on top of these. I would be afraid that it would go seep in and then it would muddy the look, because it's already vintage. You know, they're already vintaged up, so that would kind of be redundant. But if you wanted to do it for the purpose of making the white, yeah, and I probably will do that once I get this in here and look at it and all that jazz. Okay, what this does is it reactivates your Mod Podge. For those of you who do not know, you just hold it for a few seconds and move it around, and then it's stuck. And you don't have the wrinkles and all that. Now, typically, I would go over this with another coat of Mod Podge and seal it, but being that we have glass, I'm not going to, because the glass will seal it, right? Okay. Let me just see if it took every which way. And it did. Now, see, there's a little bit of a lump right there where I said that little screw was where the hanger is on the back. And that's okay, because you're not going to see that. It's going to get covered up by that pretty cameo. My little gator sander. And these are great for napkins, because I don't recommend them as much for the rice papers as I do the napkins, because these napkins come off like a breeze. Only have to do 3 sides. This bothers some people. You could, what you could do too is you could just light it up, and with a lighter, I've done that, and it stops burning right at the edge. I don't know why. It just does. It stops burning, and then you get that little antiqued edge when you burn it like that. It's kind of pretty, actually. actually. I kind of like that. Thinking if I have my, no, I have my antique sepia tone wax stuff I was going to put on the picture frame. Yeah. Put that in there. Do I have it right? Yep. Make sure. How easy is that, right? Okay. Oh my, that is pretty. Isn't it pretty? Love that. Okay. I'm going to be careful not to put too much wax here because I don't want it to act as a resist for this gorgeousness here. Well, I think I'll put this on before I do the wax. That would be the smart thing to do. I'm thinking. A little bit of B7000 to the rescue. See where it's sitting. It's sitting pretty. Okay, so like all the high points, it lays pretty flat, this cameo. This is the big dog of the cameos. But you want to put all the high points. You want to get B7000 on. And then I like to add just, oops, see, there's some hot glue just kind of stringing along. Then I like to put the hot glue in the center here and let it, it'll gel quicker, the hot glue. And then once the B7000 kicks in, you're golden. In the morning, it should be nice and on there. I try to keep the two glues separate, you know. I try not to intermingle them. Isn't that pretty? She is a pretty one. The little dangly pearl, love that. All right, so then I'm gonna take this Bare Dark wax, just a little bit of it, and tiny essential stencil brush. I'm also an affiliate with them. You can find them in my link tree at the top of my page. I love their brushes. These especially are so soft and so nice to work with. These little white brushes. So I'm just going to get in here and see if this surface will take to. Because it's kind of a plasticky, can't explain it, surface. I've got a drier paper towel here. I'm going to go around the edge first, the gold, and wipe that while it's just kind of deciding whether or not it wants to stay on there. A little bit, it did. Wiping it back very gently, almost feather-like, till it dries. A little bit. It's not as white and pristine as it was, so I guess you could probably get in there and do a couple coats. But like I said, it's like this plasticky material. Okay. More better. It is. For sure. And I might do that in the morning once all this is... Hold on. These cords are all tangled up. I might do that, like dry this up and see what that looks like. Just see if that helps if you put on 2 coats of it. You think the pink goes with the vintage look better? Yeah, I mean, you can layer it in there. I'm seeing that worked. Just rub it in. It's not white anymore. It just needs to be dried and then reapplied. Yeah. Definitely. It definitely made a difference. So, just so you know. All right, guys, that's it. Honestly, that was simple, eh? Really not any painting involved other than the background of the backer board. So, you've got this Dollar Tree. I'm going to turn this down ever so slightly because I feel like it's just up too high. There, now you can kind of see the colors a little bit better, I feel. When the light's too bright in here, you just can't see it real well. And I love the vintage look all the way around this piece. I think it's beautiful. Stunning, right? Well, you guys gonna give it a shot? Go to your Dollar Tree and make sure they still have some of these frames. You know what? Hobby Lobby has frames similar to this as well. You know, you can get the wood ones and you could do it with a wood frame. It wouldn't be that much more difficult, really. You might have to paint the wood frame white so that you can put your slides on. That's real important. Make sure you put your slides on a white background. Otherwise, it's just not going to show up right. So anyway, all right, guys, that is it. I hope you enjoyed that. If you're not following me at Bellalina Boutique, I certainly would love to have you. Have a great, blessed rest of your night, and I will see you again on Thursday. Bye, guys.